Is Don Lemon the absolute dumbest journalist known to man? On the day that we're celebrating Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, the day before, Don Lemon, you can see those critters going crazy. Don Lemon breaks into a church, or I'd say busts into a church with some protesters and causes a little fracas. He gets some protesters going into a church. Now, the law that he violated is called the FACE Act. The FACE Act was established in 1994 to prevent people from breaking into, wait for it, houses of worship, breaking into abortion clinics, which, okay, and using some kind of religious apprehension to prevent people from getting care, doctor's offices, things like that. So what Don Lemon did was basically commit a violation. I think it borders on a hate crime when you go in and you mess somebody up, messing with their, you know, their right to practice whatever religion they want. That's what it kind of feels like to me, and I think we are out of the, there we go. We'll get back in here and get it on track here. Okay, sorry. Active track not enabled while I'm putting some alfalfa in this wheelbarrow. So what we're seeing is, man, this thing does not like me today. Here we go. Okay, so what we're seeing is a criminal act by a so-called journalist. And there's a lot of people posing as journalists. I'm not a journalist. I'm not a news person. I am a commentator or a commentary channel. I am not here to tell you the news. I'm here to give you my opinion on the parts of the news that piss me off. And when somebody does something like this, I believe it violates the FACE Act. This was passed in 1994. They're going to deem it as controversial because it prevents people from busting into houses of worship, okay? That's the big thing here. Allow people freedom of religion and freedom to worship. But when you bust in the name of journalism and you mess up somebody's right to worship how they want, no matter what God they're worshiping, you have violated some stuff. Sorry, horse is taking a leak. Might be a little loud. Oh boy. There you go. There she is right there. Let's see if we can get her around here so y'all can have a look. There she is. She's eating some alfalfa. There's a big rooster up there having a peek as well. But this is what we're doing this evening. It's cold. The horse has got to eat. She's a young one. And man, she loves that alfalfa. She's still a little skittish. A little skittish. I think we're all getting a little skittish, aren't we? There we go. There we go. Man, she loves that alfalfa though. Loves it. You got to be careful because these young ones will kick the hell out of you. But guys, what do you think? Isn't it ironic that on Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, Don Lemon's going to be charged with a hate crime? I think it's amazing. I love everything about this. I can't, it would only be better if someone like Jussie Smollett was also charged with something like this, right? It would be that much better. Okay, here we go. Everybody's got some alfalfa. Everybody's happy. They're all cooking with sizzling. What are your thoughts on this? You saw what was happening, and Don Lemon knew where the protesters were going to be. This is not Don Lemon walking down the street and he stumbles onto protesters walking into a church. If you believe that, I'll sell you some golden eggs from those geese back there, because that's exactly the lie that's going to be told, is Don just stumbled across it, right? Stumbled across it. But we both know that's not true, because we have common sense. We have a level of intelligence that the former CNN guy, Don Lemon, does not. Let me latch that. Now we're going to go take a walk around and make sure everything's all right. But what are your thoughts on this? Storming into a church, posing as a journalist. He's not a, I mean, I don't know if you have to get a license to be a journalist. I think you can, I mean, if that's the case, hell, sign me up. I'm getting a license. I want to go bust up some whatevers. What do you think about this, guys? Should Don Lemon be charged? Because right now, Carmeet Dillon, Todd Blanche, and yes, the Attorney General of the United States, Pam Bondi, are en route, or actually they're probably already there, in Minneapolis to file federal charges against Don Lemon and these other rioters because they've crossed the Rubicon from being protest to being riots. You've seen all the footage that we've shown you in the live streams where guys like Nick Sorter were attacked. Somebody stole his camera, drove off, and was basically dragging him down the road. I mean, it doesn't become any more clear as to what is happening. Here, I'll show you some ducks. Here, let's have a look at some ducks here. You want to see these little Muscovies? They're down by the pond. Pond's a little frozen right now. Pond is a little frozen, and they are not too happy. But it seems like a lot of people hide behind the name of journalism. Spook, Caster, come here, let's get a treat. Here we go, come on. They love these treats, these 4-foot long treats. You can buy them at the co-op and break them up. There we go, there you go, here you go, here you go. But there's a lot of people hiding behind the term journalism, is what it seems like. They are hiding behind, or I think they have twisted free speech and freedom in the press to freedom to incite violence, freedom to incite a riot. I don't know if you agree with what Jake Lang did or not. I played a clip on my show. Man, he dropped the N-word. Didn't seem too happy. Now, if he was a musician, that would be a different ball game. But because he's a citizen journalist and he is a former J6 most dangerous event in American history guy, he's going to be held to a different standard. A lot of people on my channel have said that the Democrats want Donald Trump to invoke the Insurrection Act. A lot of people are saying that because they'll use this as basically campaign fodder for the next, I don't know, get down. These damn dogs, look at this, get down. It's too cold for y'all to get up on me. Man, good grief. But I think the Democrats could very well use anything that happens in the Insurrection Act, if Donald Trump invokes it, as campaign material. Right now, the only campaign material that the Democrats have is riots and protest. No King's Day, right? Free speech for the protesters. But I haven't seen any Democrats come out and protest for Nick Sorter or Jake Lang. Nobody's really promoting any free speech for those guys. It's only for the left. Only the left shoe fits. If I told you I'd sell you a pair of shoes, but you could only have the left one, would you buy it? If I told you only have the right shoe, would you buy that? You need both shoes to walk. You need both feet to walk. I think this country needs a little bit of both to walk in right now. But the Democrat Party is looking more and more like a guerrilla warfare. It's looking like nothing more than hell, I'll go ahead and say it, a terrorist organization. Right now, what you're seeing, a Democrat Party, I think there's a very thin line of separation between ISIS, Hamas, Hezbollah, Boko Haram, and Act Blue. I can't see a whole lot to separate those two right now. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking inside of the box. But damn, these people are crazy. Well, I'll say that. They're passionate. They're very passionate. And I think their passion or hatred, whichever word you want to use, has overrode their ability for discernment. They overrode their ability for common sense. A lot of people in my live streams in the mornings have been talking about why conservatives and Republicans are not counter-protesting. I'm kind of thinking the same thing. Why is it only okay for liberals, for the left to protest? Why is that the only methodology? Why is that the only route allowed? More importantly, why is that the only group that it's accepted by? I've had people tell me, you know, if you're going to counter-protest, you're inciting violence. But why aren't they saying the same thing about them? I don't, this is such a weird timeline in America. I don't know if America's been this divided since, you know, I read some history books, right? Civil War. I mean, that's how divided this is. And one side, it's all about emotions. And it's protecting illegal migrants. And they're correlating illegal migrants to slaves and slave owners and slavery. But that doesn't work because the slaves were brought here against their will. The illegal migrants snuck in. And they can leave. They could actually be paid to leave. So there's a very twisted narrative here that the Democrat Party has. I mean, they've doubled down on, doubled, quadrupled. I don't know what's after quadrupled. I don't know what that is. Quintupled, whatever, right? They've put everything on it. They have bet the proverbial farm on protecting illegal migrants. I think it's probably because that's their new voter base. Because so many other people feel disenfranchised by the Democrat Party that they have to replace those that are leaving. The great replacement theory damn sure looks like it's coming true, doesn't it? Man, it's a weird one. Love to get your take in the chat, in the comments down there. Have the Democrats Party bet? Have the Democrats bet it all on illegals? Did they bet everything on the foreign farm? And when or if does Donald Trump invoke the Insurrection Act? My money says, if I was a betting man, I'd probably bet a good cigar on this. He waits till January the 30th, February 1st. February 1st, you're going to wake up and the government's going to be shut down. February 1st, Donald Trump cuts off all funding to sanctuary cities. February 1st would be a good morning to wake up to the smell of an Insurrection Act. That's my theory. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the game plan. If I was a betting man, and I will bet you a cigar, I'll bet you a good Fuente, Don Carlos Robusto, the Don Carlos number 4. That's one of my favorites. I'll bet you one of those that's what's going to happen. February 1st, we cut off sanctuary city funding. February 1st, invoke the Insurrection Act. February 1st, the government shuts down. February 1st, it's going to be a very important day in American history. A very important day in American history. Will it be the demise of the Democrat Party? Or will it be the, I don't know, a little bit of vengeance, a little bit of payback? And I'm okay with Donald Trump getting a little bit of payback. They tried to kill the guy. They raided his house. They went through his wife's underwear drawer. His kid Barron, what was he, about 16? They want this guy gone. They want him killed. February 1st could be a very important day in the history of America. Maybe one of the most important days we've seen. Maybe one of the most important days we've seen since that fateful day in Butler, Pennsylvania. Don Lemon's in a world of poop. There's a world of poop over there where them horses go. Don Lemon's in a world of poop. I think the people in Minnesota rioting and protesting are in a world of poop. I think these people that want to see our country torn apart are about to get exactly what they deserve. Guys, smash the like and subscribe button. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. Let's go up here and turn these lights off. These horses are fed. Geese and ducks are fed. They're fat. Look at these. These jokers are happy. Oh, yeah. Look at that. I think they're happy. You take a little tour and check out the horses? Here we go. There we go. There's the little baby. Here's these other two. Getting some alfalfa. See them guineas up there? They usually roost up there. Here's another one getting some alfalfa. Johnny B. Johnny B. Good. Little tour, guys, a little tour. That rooster loves sitting up there. Loves sitting up there on that wall. All right, guys, that's about it for this evening. Thanks for following along. Thank you for helping me feed everything. Thank you for keeping me busy. Thank you for tuning in. You ain't got to go home, but you got to go. We live in the greatest country in the world. The greatest country in the world. I'll say that. If you're not appreciative of where you live and what we've got, get the hell out. Because I'll tell you right now, I'm pretty damn happy. I try not to focus on the negativity. Try to be as happy as I can. And damn, some people just can't stand it when you're positive, can they? Little tour. Thanks for helping me feed everything. Thanks for tagging along. I hope it feels like you're my friends and you're, the next time we're down here, one of y'all get the eggs. One of y'all carry the feed. One of y'all grab the alfalfa. I'll let you do it. All right, guys, y'all take care. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.